She found her first love cleaning floors. What she did next went viral. She was the powerful CEO of a $1 million company, used to walking past dozens of employees without blinking. But one ordinary day, she stopped in her tracks because the janitor mopping the floor wasn't just any worker. He was her first love from childhood. What she did next shocked the entire office and went viral across the internet. Like and subscribe to hear the full story of love, fate, and a second chance that no one saw coming. Madison Carter wasn't just another successful woman, she was the woman. At 34, she was already the CEO of Carter Tech Solutions, one of the fastest growing software firms in America. With her sharp jawline, clean bob haircut, and designer wardrobe, she was often referred to as the Ice Queen. Behind her back, she wasn't rude, just focused. Her time was money, and her emotions were something she rarely showed. The office space mirrored her style: glass walls, polished marble floors, minimalist decor. Every detail was perfect, just like her career. She built it from scratch, fighting her way up after leaving her small hometown of Oak Springs, Georgia, at just 17. Madison never looked back until now. It was a rainy Tuesday when everything changed. Madison was walking her usual path through the East Corridor, reviewing financial reports on her tablet, when she noticed someone new, a janitor she hadn't seen before. He wore navy blue overalls, yellow gloves, and a soft gray polo shirt beneath. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and moved with quiet efficiency. Nothing about that should have caught her attention. But his face, she paused for a second too long. That profile, those cheekbones, the jawline, the way he stood there was something painfully familiar. "Keep walking," she whispered to herself and snapped out of it. But her mind was already racing. Could it be him? No, it couldn't be. He was gone. That life was over. She buried it the day she boarded that bus to college and never looked back. But still, something inside her stirred. That night, Madison couldn't focus. She poured herself a glass of wine, sat on her penthouse balcony, and stared at the city lights. The face kept flashing in her mind. The resemblance was haunting. Was it Jamal Thomas, her first love? They had been inseparable as kids. Jamal was the boy next door, literally. He used to fix her bike, walk her home from school, and sneak her pickles from his mom's kitchen. She remembered how he used to dream of becoming an architect. "One day, I'll design a skyscraper and put your name on top," he once told her under a summer sky. But that dream was never fulfilled. Madison got a full scholarship, left town, and life moved forward. Jamal never left Oak Springs. She never contacted him again. The next morning, she dressed in a fitted cream suit and walked through the same corridor, heart pounding. And there he was again, mopping, humming softly to himself. She stopped. "Excuse me." The man turned. Slowly, their eyes met. "Madison," he said after a beat. "Madison Carter." Her mouth fell slightly open. "Jamal." A soft smile spread across his face. "Wow, look at you." Madison blinked back the surprise. I didn't think I'd ever see you again." "Yeah," he said, setting the mop aside. "Didn't think I'd be seen like this either." Madison was speechless. Her childhood love was standing in her hallway as a janitor. "How long have you been working here?" "Couple weeks." He shrugged. "Just needed something steady. City's expensive." They talked for a few more minutes, awkward, cautious, but when Madison walked away, she felt the weight of something she thought was long gone. Guilt, regret, and maybe hope. For days, Madison couldn't focus. Her assistant, Kelly, noticed. "You all right, Mads? You keep zoning out." Madison waved her off. "Just thinking." But the truth was louder than she liked to admit. So one evening, after everyone had left, she found Jamal wiping windows in the break room. "Got a minute?" she asked. "Sure." They sat down at a small table under the flickering light. "I owe you an apology," she said suddenly. Jamal looked confused. "For what?" "For leaving. For never writing. For forgetting us." He nodded slowly. "I used to wait for letters. Thought you'd call. But after a while, I figured you moved on." "I did," she whispered. "But not completely. I buried that part of me, and now it's staring me in the face." There was a long silence. "What happened, Jamal?" she finally asked. "You were so smart." What stopped you from becoming that architect? He sighed. Life happened. Dad got sick. I had to work. Tried community college, but bills kept piling up. Next thing I knew, I was mopping floors in Atlanta. Madison felt her throat tighten. He didn't sound bitter, just tired. You didn't deserve this, she whispered. I don't think anyone deserves anything, he replied. We just do what we can with what we're given. And that was the moment Madison knew she couldn't walk away this time. 2 weeks later, Jamal received an unexpected call from HR. Mr. Thomas, please report to the operations department on the 12th floor. Confused and nervous, he rode the elevator up. The doors opened to a sleek office space. Madison was waiting. I want you to join our internal systems team, she said, handing him a file. I've seen your skills. I know your brain. You deserve more. Jamal blinked. Are you serious? Dead serious, she smiled. He hesitated. I don't want handouts. It's not a handout. It's a start. Slowly, he accepted. And just like that, the janitor became a junior analyst. The whispers started immediately. Why is the janitor wearing a suit? Is she dating him or something? Madison didn't flinch. Let them talk. Jamal learned quickly. He was sharp, organized, and full of ideas. Within months, he streamlined internal logistics, cut costs, and improved workplace efficiency. Madison watched quietly from a distance, proud, hopeful, maybe even in love again. Then one night, she invited him to the rooftop. They stood by the edge, city lights stretching out like stars. Remember that skyscraper you promised to design? She said playfully. He chuckled. I never forgot. Well, she whispered, maybe we can still build something. And then, slowly, she took his hand. 3 months later, Cartertech hosted its annual leadership summit. Madison stepped up to the stage in front of hundreds of employees and partners. But this year, her speech was different. She didn't talk about profits or new clients or industry trends. She talked about Jamal. How many of you have passed a janitor and never looked at his face? She asked. I did. Until one day, I saw my past staring back at me. She told the story from Oak Springs to Cartertech, from childhood dreams to hard floors, from first love to second chances. The room was silent. Then someone started recording. By morning, the video had over 2 million views. Headlines popped up. CEO reunites with first love who was cleaning her office floors. From janitor to partner, real-life love story breaks the internet. Jamal was overwhelmed. Madison stood by his side in every interview. But the real moment came 6 months later. At the company's Christmas gala, lights dimmed. A spotlight appeared. Jamal stood in the center with a small box. I met the love of my life when I was 10. I lost her once. I don't plan on losing her again. Gasps filled the room. Madison Carter, will you marry me? Tears ran down her face as she nodded. Yes, 1,000 times yes. The crowd erupted in applause. From janitor to coup, from heartbreak to healing. Their story became more than viral. It became a symbol that love doesn't care about titles, that fate works in strange ways, and that sometimes the person cleaning the floor may just be the one who once cleaned your wounded heart.